Dear friends, disciples, and devotees, today I would like to speak to you about the body. We are so often engrossed in the mind and the higher reaches of the mind, the heart and soul, and the vital, that we perhaps don't pay enough attention to the physical body. I will share with you some personal examples of the abuse of the body. And when I say personal, I am most guilty. When I was in my early teens, I would work for my father until there was nothing left. All my energy was depleted. And I had plenty of endurance, but only a modicum of strength. All my life, I overworked. And when I asked people to work a bit more in the matrimonial gardens, nursery, they said, but he does the work of 12 people. In the early 1970s, I came down with amoebic dysentery and was constantly being hospitalized. You know, I've had 12 major surgeries, and Mother has carried me through all of them. In the times that I was hospitalized, Mother would send a blessing packet to Mary Helen for me. But the dysentery became more severe, and the doctors said my intestines looked like a war zone. One day the pain was unbearable, and I was put in the Tresa nursing home. The remedy at that time was Flagyl, which was as painful as the amoebas. Mother was informed, and she wrote to Mary Helen, he can't afford to be ill. The pain became so excruciating that finally I wrote to Mother because I didn't feel that I could take it anymore. I wrote to her and said, Mother, can I not just give myself to you in prayer and let happen what will happen, or do I have to take the medicine? Mother wrote back, pray to me and take the medicine. All this is a preface in the light of my recent open heart surgery. For now, I am slowly beginning to be more conscious of the body and am trying to help it progress. My dear friend and brother, Lakshman Sehgal, and his wife, Hansa, met with me a number of times earlier in the year. They were wonderful times. They are both in charge of the Sri Aurobindo Center in Los Angeles. And during our conversations, Lakshman spoke to me in depth about the work on the physical body. He was educated by Mother in the essential importance of caring for the body. Here are some of his words regarding his experiences with Mother and some of Sri Aurobindo's writings on the subject. So I begin with a letter from him. The importance of physical education in the integral yoga. The Mother spent a significant part of the day overseeing the physical education activities of the ashram. She herself set an example by playing tennis every afternoon from 4 to 5 p.m. For those who have lived in Pondicherry, recognize the hot weather she used to play in. Individuals on the other side of the net changed, but she was out there for the full hour. I have witnessed it, as I had the good fortune to serve as her ball boy. I stood in the shade of the umpire's chair. I recall when the playground was acquired in the mid-1940s, she watched us, 4 to 5-year-old children, compete in rabbit races, sack races, etc. She watched us closely with keen interest as she stood by the finish line. She continued to closely watch our physical activities on a daily basis. Their importance can be gauged by the fact that the only discipline that was imposed on the children was attendance in these activities. We even needed a chit from the ashram dispensary if we had to miss a day. The most crucial and distinguishing feature of their integral yoga is the emphasis on the body, something that was ignored for the past 2,000 years, viewing this world as an illusion and this body to be gotten rid of. Mother says, quote, "But for this supramental work, the way the body is formed has an almost crucial importance, and not in relation to spiritual elements, nor even to mental power. These aspects have no importance, all caps, at all. The capacity to endure, to last, is the important thing." Then the mother said, "Few persons understand that generally they who are against this external discipline, this concentration on a material achievement like sports, are exactly the people who lack total control over their physical being. But to realize the integral yoga of Sri Aurobindo, control of the body is one of the first indispensable steps. They who despise physical activities are people who will not be able to take a single step on the true way of integral yoga unless they get rid of their despise first. The control of the body in all its forms is an indispensable basis." This is what Mother had to say after she witnessed the Russian Olympic gymnasts perform in front of her in 1958. Well, that mastery is already a great step forward towards the transformation of the body. And these people who I could say are materialists by profession used no spiritual method in their education. If they had added to this a spiritual knowledge and power, they could have achieved an almost miraculous result. Lastly, I quote from Sri Aurobindo, from Lakshman's letter. "A development of the physical consciousness must always be a considerable part of our aim. But for that, the right development of the body itself is an essential element. Health, strength, fitness are the first needs, but the physical frame itself must be the best possible. A divine life in a material world implies necessarily a union of the two ends of existence, the spiritual summit and the material base." So in this challenging time that we are facing, certainly all of us can work much harder on the physical body when we are not able to move outside. I send my love and prayers to all of you. Namaste.